Hey everyone, welcome to week 6. We've got a bit of work to look at today or this week. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing sort of two things. We're going to be doing this graphic organizer assignment, and we're also going to be doing an infographic. So of course there's readings and resources to read for both. You can see the graphic organizer ones here and the infographics ones there. And then there's also with that goes the assignments. And if we look at, let's say, assignment 20 here first. Okay, so please make sure you read the instructions. But basically what you're going to do is you are going to create a graphic organizer. Okay, there are some examples here. There are more examples in this folder. And then here are the instructions. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to use Google Drawing, okay? And once you use Google Drawing or you open up your drawing, what you're going to do is you are going to find a graphic organizer online. So if in a Google search, if you just typed in graphic organizer, okay? And now, or maybe do a graphic organizers. And then again, I want you to think about a grade topic or subject that you want to teach, okay? And you can pick any one you want. And then let's say I'm going to do, I don't know, let's say language arts, okay? And I want to do one on story writing. And so you can see I could do a mind map, but what I'm looking for, I can't find, which is the... Oh, it's a sandwich one, but that's okay. We'll use, let's see. Okay, this is the one I was kind of looking for. Now, I would like one with color, and I would recommend that you do one with color as well. But you can see that there's different versions. So even if we just look at this one, which is a really simple kind of one, is what you're going to do is you're going to find a graphic organizer for some grade topic and subject, again, that you want to teach. And then what you're going to do in your Google Drawing is you are going to reproduce this graphic organizer, okay? So there's no, I'm just going to go, right click, copy, come over here to Google Drawing and paste. That's not what I'm asking you to do. I'm asking you to take this idea and then recreate it in a Google Drawing using the different tools that are there for you to use, okay? And you have to give credit to the original source, okay? So in this case, it would be the superteacherworksheets.com, okay? And if we look at the assignment again, and we'll just go right here. Right, so make sure that you follow the instructions in a drawing that fits on an 11 by 17 or a 17 by 11 canvas, and that would depend on your original. So this one's in portrait, so that would be 11 by 17. This one right here would be a landscape, and that would be 17 by 11. Okay, and so then once as you work your way through here, please make sure that you pay attention to all the different things that I'm looking for. If you're going to add different kinds of images, make sure that they're nice, high quality images. Also, I would need the grade and the outcome from the K-12 curriculum that would support students writing stories or identifying the parts of a novel or so, whatever it is. You have to find the appropriate outcome using the Alberta Curriculum of Studies. By this point, you should know how to do that. Of course, if you don't, you can go back to Google Classroom, and there's lots of videos on showing you how to do that. So that really is the assignment. There is a wow factor here, and just to explain that, it's not bonus marks. It is actually built into the overall mark. And so, what I always talk to students about when I'm in face-to-face with them is that everyone's going to produce a graphic organizer. What is it that's going to make yours stand out above everyone else's? Okay, so also, every checklist is just the bare minimum requirements. So is there anything that you can do or think of doing that would make your stand out? Okay, and I'm pretty gracious with the marks, but you have to earn them, of course, by actually adding something above and beyond the basics. Okay, now if you have any questions about this assignment or how to do it or anything like that, don't hesitate to reach out to me, okay? And so that's a graphic organizer. Now there are some lecture notes here. This one is like the fill in the blank version that I would give to students when I'm face to face, but I've also included the answer key here. Okay, so make sure that you go through the notes and that you kind of can recognize and find out some of the important things here. There's only four pages of them, and this last one is kind of just like something extra. So make sure that you understand that those types of notes there that I've got. And then once you've done that, of course, you can submit it. Don't forget to submit. In this case, hold on one second here, right there. Don't forget to submit the completed checklist. Okay, so with the checkbox, check boxes texted off or highlighted, or giving yourself the marks, whichever way you choose to do that. And then, of course, there's also where are we here? Yeah, oh no, there's no rubric for it, so that's awesome. Right. So again, there's some different examples, right? So here's that hamburger example. Okay, and so you are going to, one of the things that we better talk about here for just one sec is that you will need to have a blank copy of the organizer, so like this, and then you also will need to submit a answer key with it. Okay, if it's not something that is like a math one where you have an answer, you still would need to fill this out give it an example of a topic sentence, and then detail 1, 2, and 3, and then a closing sentence for writing a paragraph. Okay, so you have to provide an answer key because that you would need to do that in class as well with your students. Okay, let's just go back here. Let me just double check a couple things here to make sure that we've got this figured out. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, and then again, there's some other examples here that you can look at and the exemplars, and I would encourage you to do that to see what other people have done. Okay, all right, let's go then on to the next assignment, which is the infographic assignment. Okay, now this is all about you making a resume. Okay, now if you don't have a resume, this will be your first shot at it. If you have a current resume, what we're looking at is doing it not like a traditional resume where it's all text. Okay, so if we look at some of these examples, and all of these examples are I have permission to share them with you. And so I have a folder here of what I don't want. Okay, what I don't want is just you regurgitating your traditional resume onto an infographic. Okay, so this is not what I want. I want, let me just close this up here. There we go. I'll just show one more example here. Same idea. I don't want, this is just basically a traditional resume. Okay. What I want is something more like this. I'll just go to, let's see, 1 or 25. Did I have it? Right. And so all the names are here. And again, like I said, they're all used with permission. They are redacted as far as personal contact information goes. But the important thing here is it's an infographic, giving graphical information a quick bite of this person's skills. So this is the type of resume that you would take maybe into the interview with you. Now, a traditional resume with all text and all that kind of stuff is still going to be required in the initial hiring process. But this type of resume is one that you could bring to the hiring committee and share it with them just to remind them of all the great things that you're able to do. Okay. Also, I'll just show you one or two more here. Right. So this is, something like this is what I'm looking at. So the infographics, once you go through the notes, and I'm just going to open this up here. Oopsie. Okay. And this slideshow, it's going to talk about the 9 types of infographics. The one thing that I want to impress upon you here is that every one of these has best practices. And if we look at the notes, okay, I'll just open up mine here, the one with the answer key, is that you will notice, and once we get to it here, okay, just hold on for 1 second, There you go. So once you get to this portion of the infographics notes, you'll see that there's each section has best practices, and as you go through the different types, you're going to see that's very similar things. Is that there needs to be numbering, there needs to be pictures, there needs to be colors, there needs to be bolded text, there needs to be icons or images of some sort, and that's going to be the same theme throughout. So how is it that you can make this information pop and give somebody who wants to potentially hire you sort of the quick and dirty, here's all the great skills I can bring to this job, right? So that's what I'm looking at. So you're going to have a finished resume that you could use in an interview type of situation. Okay. Now, as far as the assignment goes, again, this does not need this piece here does not need to be handed in. This is some information again that I think you should read and go over, but there is a rubric. So I'm going to ask you to hand that in, completed, of course, when you are done. And you're going to give yourself, of course, a mark, including how much you think of a wow that you've done. And again, I explained that earlier about what I'm looking for with the wow. Okay, so if we scroll up here, what to hand in, a completed infographic, a Canva infographic PDF. So you're going to go, I'm just going to close a couple tabs up here. I'm just going to just close some of them up here. You're going to go to Canva. Okay, and when you go to Canva, okay, you're going to need to create an account. Now, it doesn't really matter to me what email or what type, account that you make, but what you're going to need to, what I would recommend is just using your EDU account. So I'm already here and I already have an account and I have lots of, stuff in here. But I want you to create an account of your own. Then you can also then go to the templates or over here, or you can go across here and find one that will work for you. Okay, there is a resume. There are different resumes. You can also just search resumes, and Canva has AI. Okay, and so on this assignment, let me just open it up, right? That this is a Greenlight AI assignment. So if you want to use AI to help you with your resume, knock yourself out. Okay, and so like I said, Canva has some interesting stuff. If you want to use any of the other ChatGPTs or anything like that to help you with wording or things like that, on this assignment is one that I would encourage you to do that. Okay, now let's just go back to Canva for a second because I just want to show you one thing. Okay, you're going to sign up for an unpaid account. So that means that, let's see here. Let me just open up one of my own things here. And I'll just open up, here's an untitled one. Okay, and so when you are using the elements or any of the goodies over here on the side, you'll notice that some of them have a little crown. And you'll notice when I mouse over it says Pro. Those elements you will need to pay for. Okay, so stay away from anything that has a crown unless you're prepared to pop out your credit card and pay for them in the end. And I'll tell you that now because once you come up here to share and download your resume, it's going to say, oh, hey, you've got some elements that were pro, crack out your credit card and pay for them. If you say no thanks, what it does is removes all those elements. So if you use lots of these pro elements and you're not prepared to pay for them in the end, what will happen is it will just take them all out. And that generally means that you've got more work ahead of you then. Okay, so beware of the pro elements, like I said, unless you're willing to pay for them. And I don't encourage that. Okay, you don't need to do that for this assignment. Also, if there are elements that you want and you're like, oh man, I'd really like this arrow thing or whatever, just go on the web and search it and search a free image. And then what you can do with your images is you can upload them. And you can see here, I've got all kinds of different things that I've uploaded here to use in various designs that I've had in the past. And then once you have an uploaded thing, all you got to do is click on it and it'll pop it into the Canva template. You can resize it, move it around. And it's not hard to figure out, because if you can do a Google drawing and line things up and add text boxes and add shapes and images and those kinds of things, the canvas is really not that more is no more difficult to use than Google Drawing. Okay, now what I will do, if there's anything here that I'll just go back here for 1 second. That, if you can't figure anything, an element out or something like that, again, like I said, reach out to me and I'd love to help you out. I like this assignment because I get to see some really interesting designs that people come up with. Okay. I would also, and I mentioned this in the checklist, try to stay away from beiges and neutral colors. Make it pop, add some color to it, make it look good. Okay. I also would recommend, if you can, trying to stay away from dark backgrounds, because again, if you were going to take this to a interview situation, it may to print it out with a black background is going to take lots of resources that are expensive. So be very careful. Okay. All right. Let's just go back to Classroom for a second here. So yeah. So also I've added some websites here that you can go to make custom colors. Okay. And I'll just close up a couple more things here. Just 1 sec here. Infographics. Yeah. Let me just close these up. And so as you can see here, I've listed them there. And one of my favorites is Picular. And I've got that one bookmarked here. And I'll just show you how that works real quick. So it's my favorite one, at least my favorite starting point. And all you got to do is type in a word like, summer, right? And then it will give you colors that go with that. Now you could just type in a color like pink, green, blue, whatever, and it will give you more colors like that. So it is saying, okay, well, I don't know, I guess whatever, however this is, they're figuring it out. These are some colors of summer. And if you want to use them, then you just have to click on it. And you see it said hex copied, right? I'll just do that again, hex copied. And then when you come into either your Canva or into your Google Drawing, and you'll say add an element here. I'll just add a shape real quick, right? And you want that color. So then this is a paint bucket thing. All you got to do is go add a custom color. And that hexadecimal number, that hex, you just paste it in and you say, okay. And it gives you that color. Okay. So again, you can also just type in, I'll just say green here, right? You can just type in the name of a color and it'll give you several shades of that green. So play with this. It's a lot of fun. I like it. I come here often to add color to different designs and things that I'm working on. Okay. This is the graphic organizer one. Let me just go back here. Okay. So again, you're going to hand in that downloaded PDF. So again, we're going to go here. When you are done, I'll use this example. I'll use this empty one here again. Okay. And I'll just show you how to do the hexadecimal color here. So here, when you add an element or an object onto the screen, you can change the colors by clicking on up here. And then what you can do is you can paste in that hexadecimal code again. And then there it is right there. And you can add it. And this is not cooperating for some reason, but it will add those colors, but also give you some other ones that go with it. So remember, we're looking for complementary colors, right? Like all of these greens are complementary to one another. If we went back to the summer example, all of these colors are complementary colors as well. And so try to stick with complementary colors. And also don't forget light on dark, dark on light, so that your contrast doesn't make it hard for people to read. Then also here in not Picular, sorry, in Canva, I would also like you to copy the link for your finished product. So you can just copy the link, right? And it will allow view access. And then what I'd like you to do in Google Classroom then is in the private comments when you submit your assignment is to paste the link into the private comments. And then, like I said before, don't forget to finish up the rubric. And I'm just going to go back real quick here to the infographics assignment, or the graphic organizer, and same thing idea here. What to hand in your graphic organizer as a Google drawing. So I'm going to need a blank copy of whatever graphic organizer you come up, whichever graphic organizer you come up with. I'm going to need a copy of that graphic organizer as the answer key. And then of course the completed checklist that goes with that. Okay. So this week is not quite as heavy as some of the other weeks have been. And you get to kind of do two couple really creative things. And of course, don't forget to do the readings because we also will have a quiz coming up at the end of week 7. And so again, I like to rely a lot on those readings to make sure that you're doing them, but also make sure you're learning from them and those kinds of things. Okay. Anyways, have fun with this. And like I said, if you have got questions or comments or concerns, let me know. Oh, one maybe last element about the resumes. Please, if you don't feel comfortable putting on your phone numbers and all that kind of stuff, you don't have to. Okay. You don't have to add that contact information in there. I mean, within Canva, if you're going to share it, you're only going to share it with me or anybody who's got the link. So it can't be searched up on Google or within Canva itself. It'll be like an untitled, or it's not untitled, unlisted thing that you do right in Google or in YouTube. Okay. All right. So again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me, and I'd love to help you on this. Okay. Thanks, everybody.